Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. This is Mrs. Haripriya from Pon Vidyashram. Today we are going to see Economics Chapter 2, People as a Resource. In the previous session, we had discussed about the market activities and the non-market activities. Now, in this session, we are going to see in detail about the quality of population. That is education, health, unemployment, and the types and causes of unemployment. Education. Education improves the skill and personality of a person, and the educated person will also support the uneducated person, and it will also enrich the culture of the society. Government introduced various steps to improve the education among the people. Some of the major steps are Navodaya Vidyalaya schools, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan schools, and the Right to Education Act, and setting up of vocational stream, and introduction of midday meal scheme, and setting up of higher learning colleges and universities in specialized areas. First, we are going to see about the Navodaya Vidyalaya schools. Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya schools are a system of alternative schools for gifted students. Actually, they were run by the Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti in New Delhi. They are fully residential and coeducational schools affiliated to the CBSE. They have classes from 6th to 12th, and they are specifically tasked with finding talented children in rural areas of India and providing them with good quality education. There are approximately 598 Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas across the India. So then we are going to see about the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, that is SSA. It is an Indian government program aimed at the universalization of elementary education, and it is mandated by the 86th Amendment to the Constitution of India, making free and compulsory education to the children of ages from 6 to 4. It is also one of the fundamental right too. And the other schemes are the midday meal schemes and the Right to Education Acts. So what are all the present goals of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyans are to open new schools in areas which do not have them, and to expand existing school infrastructures and maintenance, and address inadequate teacher numbers and fill their vacancies, and to provide quality elementary education including life skills for the children along with the computer education. And the next quality of population is assessed through the health. A health of a person is the asset of the person. A healthy person is always considered as a fit and assetful person. If the person is unhealthy, he is considered to be an unfit person. Here, the health is decided by major three factors. They are the infant mortality rate, the death rate, and the birth rate. The infant mortality rate is the rate where the death of the child under 1 year of age is calculated, and the death rate is calculated by the number of people per thousand who die during the particular period of time. And the birth rate is calculated by the number of babies born for every 1,000 people during a particular period of time. Here, health of a person, an unhealthy person is cannot able to be efficient to use the land and capital, and he doesn't have less or no earning as they are very weak, and the technology is less developed and make the country less developed or poor. So he may be a less productive person. He doesn't be a smart person or a hard worker, and he will never be successful in his life. He is always a liability for the country. And the another one is that unemployment. There are different types of unemployment. First of all, what is unemployment? Unemployment is a problem where an educated person cannot get a job which is suitable to his education. That is called as unemployment. In other words, when a person is actively seeking a job but he is unable to get employed, he is called as an unemployed person. So basically a working age of a person is from 15 to 59 years. This is the age where the person can work for. So additionally, if a person voluntarily does not want to work, he cannot be termed as unemployed. That is, over the age of 59 years, the person is not working, he is not termed as an unemployed person, and the children below the age of 15 years are not considered as unemployed people. Here, there are three types of unemployment, and the first two is categorized under the rural unemployment, and the last one is categorized as the urban unemployment. So first we will go to the educated unemployment. The problem of unemployment among the educated youth is very high nowadays. So even highly educated youths like graduates and postgraduates are finding difficulty in getting a job. So why is that? Because of they are not getting job that is suitable to their qualification. That is why the case of educated unemployment lies in the places of urban areas. Next, rural unemployment. Rural unemployment is again classified into two: seasonal unemployment and disguised unemployment. Seasonal unemployment is the place. Let us take an example of a family with 8 working members. So for example, all of them are working on the same farm. The size of the farm make it possible to be efficiently managed only by 5 persons. So the extra 3 persons, what about them? The extra 3 persons are additionally contributing towards the land without any productivity. If they gone to some other land for work, they may be a gainful employment and they may earn some other high income also. But here they are not going to any other work and simply they are working in the same farm, and their potential is also utilized in the same farm itself. This is called as disguised unemployment. Seasonal unemployment is that during the particular season the person is not getting a job. That is called as seasonal unemployment. So for example, in the case of construction sites and in the case of agriculture, they will be having work only during the summer months, and the rest of the 3 months to 4 months they won't find a job. This kind of situation is called as seasonal unemployment. So what are all the consequences of unemployment? Unemployment can be emotionally draining on the unemployed person. It can be a financial and emotional drain on his family members. They may feel burdened. They cannot able to get any income from that person. So he is a burden to the family. A large number of unemployed people is ultimately a liability for the society. They are actually considered as unproductive persons and they are all dependent on the productive persons. So the high rate of unemployment can also increase the crime rate such as theft, murder. So these are all the one of the reasons where the unemployed persons do it for their sake. So I conclude my topic with the current employment scenario. So agriculture is the most labor absorbing sector of the economy. In the recent years, in the agricultural sector only, both the seasonal unemployment lies and also the disguised unemployment lies. And because of this problem only, the farmers are leaving the agricultural sector and forecasting towards the other sectors such as the tertiary sector and small scale sectors. This is how the unemployment is actually working. It again pressurizes the productive people and tries to utilize the same people. This will also reduce the gross national income of the country. Thank you, children. Till this the chapter is over and we will see the next new chapter in the next session. Thank you.